Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of The Aftermath. Well, it's a well-known fact around these parts that romance not a big selling point for me. However, I do enjoy me a good period piece, and I do like more dramatic, deep romances. Lighthearted romances in general are the tough sell. When we get a little bit deeper, when it's a little bit more involved, then I can sink my teeth into those type of romance films. And honestly, that's what had me intrigued when it came to The Aftermath. This is post-World War II Germany and the aftermath of what came from the war, and specifically a relationship between a British soldier and his wife and the German residents that live in the house they now get to occupy. Interesting stuff. Unfortunately, the film never fully realizes any of that interesting stuff. But let's go ahead and start off with the positives first. Well, the film is just beautiful all the way around. Every aspect is beautiful, from the actors to the scenery to the camera work to the production design. Everything about this movie just looks beautiful. Step one to making a successful period piece. This feels like a lush romance. And our actors are all good in roles that we know they're going to be good in. Jason Clarke plays this kind of similar role very often. But yet again, here, he's very convincing in the role. He tugs at your heartstrings. He brings this empathy to a role that easily could have fell flat. Keira Knightley is really good in her role as well. Yet again, a role we have seen her in more or less many a time at this point in her career. But she revisits the role because she plays it well, and she plays it well here. And then Alexander Skarsgard has charisma to spare, and it's on full display in this film as well. He also shines in his role. And on a general level, there is some entertainment to be had here. Taking it at face value, you're able to kind of go along with the fun that's being presented, with the kind of trashiness that's there, with the drama that's there. There's fun to be had in a telenovela type of way. But unfortunately, that's kind of where my positives end on the film. Because unfortunately, the film never commits to any which direction. It never fully realizes anything that it presents to the audience. And it leaves you with just a thoroughly meh kind of viewing experience. So yes, we have the lush, beautiful, romantic setting. Unfortunately, the script doesn't give that anything to play off of. We don't have anything to fill all of that beautiful setting with actual romance. Part of the fun of romances in general is the budding love, that budding chemistry happening. And a glance here and a glance there just didn't do it for me. We miss all of the genuine courtship and all the genuine chemistry between our characters in this film, to the point where it just kind of happens and you're like, oh, well, all right, here we are then. And honestly, the tension and the dilemma of Keira Knightley's character isn't there. You don't really feel that tension. You don't feel her internal struggle throughout the film. She mostly just like picks a direction and goes with it, and then goes in this direction, and whichever way her head and heart are feeling at that exact moment, she goes. And the conflict, it never quite resonates. But then the problem is that we are being sold this kind of sultry romance film, a little bit smutty, if you will, but it's not sexy enough for that. We get like 2 actual sex scenes in the film, one of which is not really. And then the second is much more sexy, much more like sultry, but in a sexy type of period piece romance starring Alexander Skarsgard, aimed mostly at women. We don't even get a proper Alexander Skarsgard booty shot? Huh? It ain't like he's been shy about showing it. So I don't know what we're doing here. However, we do get nipple sucking. So again, the film doesn't know where it wants to go, to be super sensual and really push the envelope as this sensual romance. But it just kind of like bats at it real quick and then never goes back. And instead we're stuck with a stale story in an underdeveloped romance. And then there's this really interesting topic of post-World War II Germany. How soldiers that are stuck in Germany are handling it, how the German citizens themselves are handling it. How do you toe the line between being empathetic with these people who have had their entire lives uprooted and destroyed, but also realizing there are still Nazis in the rank that didn't get killed in the war that hold some sort of resentment. So all of this is present in the film, but we never go far enough into it. It just kind of is the backdrop to the movie at large. And that seems a real disservice to a very interesting and important topic that we could have explored further, but instead, a bland romance is pushed to the forefront. And then we have this backstory with the actual marriage of the movie. Again, it's not given the attention it deserves. Thus, we come into it too late and we leave out of it too early. We don't get to be a part of the interesting parts. We are stuck into this middle portion where the interesting is kind of void, because everything is kind of void out of that marriage in most of the film. So honestly, the script lets this film down pretty much tenfold. It presents a whole lot, but doesn't develop any of it, and thus doesn't give you a satisfactory film in any of the categories it introduces. And that's what really is a shame with the Aftermath. There are several riveting, rich stories in here, which unfortunately were just not done justice. So overall, The Aftermath is a beautiful looking film that is more or less a serviceable, sexy period piece romance. But if you're looking for something with a little bit more sophistication, if you're looking for something with any sort of depth or development, then this is a watch for free on TV for me. Now, if you really love period pieces and you really love like period piece romances and drama, I would say give this a rental. And if that all just sounds like a complete bore to you, you can skip this one altogether. So, that has been my review of The Aftermath. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below, and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on our latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see The Aftermath? And what is your favorite period piece romance? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!